Deus Ex, a shortened version of Deus Ex Machina, a Latin term that roughly translates out to God out of the machine. Deus Ex Machina is seen most prevalently in stories, and occurs when a problem in the plot is inexplicably and suddenly solved with a contrived or unexpected occurrence. What does this mean? Aside from the fact that I have access to Wikipedia? Absolutely nothing. However, Deus Ex does share the same name as the title of today's review, Deus Ex Human Revolution. This game was released in August of 2011, and it is a prequel to the 2000 PC hit, Deus Ex. The original game received extremely high praise, won many Game of the Year awards, and is seen by many to be a revolutionary title for RPGs. So, after 10 years and a massive amount of hype, is this game worthy of its predecessor? I'll let you know in about 5 minutes. This game starts off with our hero, Adam Jensen. Adam is the head of security for Seraph Industries, a corporation that is responsible for creating augmentations for the human body, such as mechanical limbs or subdermal implants. One day, Seraph Industries is attacked by terrorists, and along with kidnapping scientists, they leave Adam heavily injured. He then has most of his body parts replaced with augmentations, effectively making him somewhat of a super soldier. 6 months later, he then recovers and is assigned to doing tasks for Seraph Industries, such as dealing with terrorist groups opposed to human augmentation. As the story progresses, and after doing many morally questionable missions, Adam starts to realize that not is all that it seems, and soon his loyalties and even his views on augmentation come into question. And that's really all of the story that I wish to reveal. You'll thank me later. This game is essentially an RPG / first-person shooter. However, much like the original Deus Ex, you can play through the missions pretty much however you want. Want to just gun down your enemies? You can do that. Want to take a stealthier approach and just knock out your enemies? You can also do that. The same goes for hacking to get by locked areas, talking your way to more diplomatic solutions, and much, much more. As you progress through the missions, you will gain XP. XP can be gained by doing a multitude of actions, from defeating enemies, hacking, and even just exploring areas. These XP points are used in order to level yourself up. Each time you level up, you gain 1 point that can be used to enhance Adam's augmentations. These enhancements allow for many game-changing events, such as the ability to read people's emotions during conversations, the use of an explosive area attack, the ability to upgrade your shielding, the ability to upgrade your strength in order to lift heavier objects, and much more. Overall, this game has 15 separate chapters, and overall will run you somewhere between 15 to 18 hours, depending on how many side quests you decide to do. Now for the reviewing. As for the gameplay, this is really the best part of the game. The controls are smooth and responsive, using cover and manipulating objects or computers is extremely easy, and even switching between weapons and items during combat is also fairly streamlined. The enemy AI is also very well put together. They will react in different ways depending on how hostile you are, how you approach them, or even by which weapon you are using at the time. Not to mention that many times they will attempt to flank you or flush you out of your hiding place. Now, it should be noted that, much like the original, you can play the missions however you please. However, also like the original, taking a stealthier approach is encouraged. I was playing this game on the normal difficulty setting, and I oftentimes had a lot of trouble getting through some of the missions if I just engaged the enemies head on. Now, to say that this game is unfairly hard would really be, well, unfair. This game really isn't that difficult in a traditional sense, it just requires more strategy, or sometimes dumb luck, to deal with your adversaries. As for the graphics, the environments look absolutely beautiful. From the populated streets of Shanghai, to the aesthetically pleasing techno-punk streets of Detroit. And this is in fact the best Detroit has looked in the past 50 years. Hey, I live in Michigan. I'm allowed to make these jokes. However, the character models, particularly the facial expressions, oftentimes look very bland. This for the most part isn't a problem with the main characters. However, when talking to a minor character, it sometimes looks like you're talking to a robot, and for some reason, I doubt that's due to the augmentations. This game, like most games, isn't perfect, and there are some aspects of it that you might find aggravating. The first issue is the aforementioned difficulty. Now, it isn't the difficulty per se that's the problem, but rather the reason behind it. Along with fairly intelligent AI, sometimes, particularly in the later levels, you will find that you won't have enough ammo. The reason behind this? Well, as the game progresses, you will be facing more formidable and sometimes heavily armored opponents or even robots. Due to this X factor, it can take up to a clip or more of ammunition to defeat some of these foes should you engage them head on. Another problem with the difficulty lies in the boss battles. Now, there are only 4 boss battles overall, but these bastards will in no way, shape, or form take it easy on you. You can always find weapons, ammo, or health items in each boss area, but it can still take multiple save reloads and a lot of time and effort in order to defeat them. The only other issue that I could find with this game is the lack of effect from your actions. Don't get me wrong, oftentimes the decisions you make in one mission can cause another mission to spring up as a result. But for the most part, the endgame itself is left only barely in the hands of the player's actions. In conclusion, is this game worth the hype? Well, after just recently playing the original Deus Ex, I must say that this game genuinely feels like an up-to-date, polished, and in some cases improved version of the original with a different story. This is something that I can rarely ever say for games that follow up 10 years after the original. So, if you like the original Deus Ex and haven't gotten around to picking this one up yet, what the hell are you waiting for? If you haven't played the original, but like shooter/RPGs, then I would still recommend playing this as it's a prequel, so you really won't be missing out on much. So, until next time, this is E-Dog, the hero of the... Okay, I'm not doing that joke again. See you next time.